A Feast for Odin is a worker placement, tile laying, and resource management game released in 2016 and designed by Uwe Rosenberg with art by Dennis Lohausen. The goal is to lead your northern clan to an age of promise and prosperity through construction, exploration, and hunting, among other things. Don't forget to make sure your people stay well fed. Beans are always a good choice. To set up, place the main board in the middle of the table with the supply boards for ships and special tiles next to it. Place those tiles in their corresponding boards and spaces. Shuffle the mountain strips and turn 2 face up, loading them with the depicted goods. Lay out the exploration boards with their front sides up, letters A through D. Each player chooses an available color and takes the corresponding Viking tokens, a player board, 1 mead goods tile, and a random starting occupation, light brown back. They place 5 of their Vikings in their thing square and the other 7 from right to left in their banquet table spaces. Give each player 1 of each type of weapon card, excluding the sword, then shuffle the weapon and dark brown occupation deck separately. Place the dice, building tiles, and all resources in reach of all players. First player is chosen randomly and takes the moose token. Feel free to make whatever noise you think a moose makes. In A Feast for Odin, players are leaders of a clan of Vikings foraging into the world, seeking food, treasures, and perhaps a place to call their own. The game is played over 7 rounds, during which each player at a high level will place their Vikings on the main board and take the chosen action. Those actions include building houses or ships, hunting for game, fish, or whales, acquiring livestock, gaining products from either the weekly market or existing livestock, crafting or trading to gain more valuable goods, claiming resources from the mountains, sailing forth to raid, pillage, or explore, emigrating to new lands, and acquiring or using occupation cards. Each of the 7 rounds is broken down into 12 phases where players will receive a new Viking from the leftmost banquet space, receive a small harvest, flip exploration boards only on some rounds, draw a new weapon card, take their actions as described above, determine the next round starting player, receive some income, breed animals, prepare their feast, receive any bonuses, update the mountain strips, and return place Vikings to the thing square. While most of these phases are housekeeping between rounds, the 2 that take the most time and focus are the action phase, 5th, and the feast phase, 9th. There are a few anytime actions which players can and should do even when it's not their turn, most of which revolve around placing tiles and resources into spaces on their boards, including their player board and any claimed exploration boards or built houses. This is a bit of a puzzle, as some items are not allowed on certain boards and sometimes in specific configurations, defined on each board, but filling them in is how both victory points and increased income are obtained. However, some items must be set aside for the feast as well. The feast allows for orange and red tiles as well as coins, but definitely no ore. Yuck. The same colored tiles cannot be placed next to each other, and only one of those tiles can be placed horizontally, but so long as all open banquet spaces are covered, no endgame penalty tiles are received. After the feast phase in the 7th round, the game immediately ends and players total up their points as indicated by shield symbols on their boards. These will come from built ships and houses, claimed exploration boards, livestock, and played occupation cards. The player with the most points wins. There are no tiebreakers since it's hard enough just to survive out there. Despite its simple setup and basic worker placement focused gameplay, there is a lot going on in this game. Every time I open this box to play it, I am nearly surmounted by the various boards, pieces, and symbols packed into a relatively medium-sized package. While it definitively earns its medium-heavy weight classification, I still find it very approachable and actually not too convoluted of a teach. The main loop of put a worker here, get a resource there is a perfectly fine way to grab a fish, or some beans, or even a few rocks from that mountain over there. Oh look, someone dropped a coin. Would that be enough each round to feed your people? Without question. But I think what you really want is to explore the Faroe Islands, craft some new tools and armor, and then pillage the Crown of England to add to your spoils. It'll look so nice next to a bowl of spices and that hunk of whale meat. I myself love a good puzzle. I'm always game.